Hello and welcome. We are on week 5 of this 12-week progressive Hatha Yoga for Women's Health practice. Today we're not doing anything too different, but we are going to be focusing on including more strength development, and that is not just from a structural perspective, but also just the cultivation of strength. The word bala comes to mind, which has different translations across Ayurveda and yoga, and depending on how it's used. But one of the meanings is strength and vitality and ojas, and that's one of the beautiful things about the language of yoga is that one word can be so profound. So bala can be an evolution of strength in mind, body, and spirit as we progress on our journey. So cultivation of strength, not just our big muscles, those two, but also internal strength, spiritual strength, our immune system, all of it. So coming into a seated position, making sure you got your props handy, and closing down at the eyes if you like, or having them half closed. Taking a big breath in and breathing out, letting go of the day. And another breath in to lengthen your spine, lifting up into the crown of your head. Exhaling to soften your shoulders, soften into your hips and legs. Just taking a moment to notice how your mind and body feel today. And setting the intention to meet yourself where you're at in your practice today. So bringing the practice to meet you, adapting, modifying, varying, and exploring as needed. And starting to deepen your breath, inhaling all the way down into the lower lobes of your lungs. And as you exhale, drawing in through the belly to help expel any last bits of air. And just continuing to inhale and exhale. Allowing your awareness to follow the journey of your breath in and out of your lungs. One more round of the breath, and then we'll move into Gauranga breathing meditation. Exhale completely. Now we'll move into inhaling, drawing the mantra Gauranga into our mind. And as we exhale, we'll say the sound Gauranga for the entire length of our exhalation. Let's exhale completely. Breathing in. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. One last time, inhale. Gauranga. Allowing the effects of the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. opening your eyes, coming into awareness of your body. We'll raise our shoulders up nice and high, squeezing into the neck, and then drawing the shoulders down, pressing the shoulders down, stretching out through the neck. Doing that a couple more times, lifting through the shoulders. And exhale. And lift. Exhale. Rolling the head from one side to the other. Nice and slow and controlled. Letting your head act like a bit of a weight, bearing down toward the ground, helping to stretch out through the back of your neck. Good. And come back to center. Moving into the spine now. Taking your left hand to the floor, reaching up and over with your right arm, softening down into that lower elbow, palm to the floor, and anchoring down into your right hip as you open up through your side body, feeling a gentle contraction through the left side body. And keep breathing naturally. And lifting up. Taking the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, turning to look over the left shoulder, gentle twist. Inhale. Exhale. Now taking the left hand to the right knee, sweeping the right arm up and over, and working the right knee down toward the floor. Getting a bit of a revolved stretch through the ribs. And release. Let's do the other side, placing the right hand to the floor. Softly bend through that lower elbow as you take the left arm up and over. And if you feel any jamming through your shoulder as you take your arm up, try sweeping it forward so that your shoulder kind of nestles into the joint socket there. Finding your breath, anchoring down through the left hip. Pressing yourself back up to center. Dropping the right hand to the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you. Turning to look over your right shoulder. And rotating around, right hand to the left knee, floating the left arm up and reaching over, just feeling into that opening up through the ribs, nice stretch into all of those muscles in between each rib. And come back to center. Take a breath. And find your way over onto all fours. Stacking your shoulders above your wrists and hips above your knees. Spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide. Press down into the floor with your palms and shins so you're nice and active through your legs and shoulders. And then starting to move with your breath. Inhaling to tilt your pelvis forward. Drop the belly. Lengthen through your spine as you look forward. And then exhaling. Tucking the tailbone, drawing the chin toward your chest, and rounding the spine in the opposite direction. And now really moving with your breath, coordinating the breath with the movement, inhaling to open and lengthen, feeling your spine lengthening, visualizing each vertebra lengthening away from one another, exhaling. Change directions. Inhale. And if you're familiar with the pose, you can also explore holding at the top of the breath. And then exhaling, pausing a little as you empty your lungs. One more each way. And come back to neutral spine. Take a breath. Centering yourself again and inhaling as you raise your right leg up. Keep pressing down into your foundation, keeping the right hip rolling down as you raise the right leg, feeling your hip and your lower back working, but reaching into your toes so your leg is nice and long, hamstrings are working. And then we're going to exhale, curl the knee in toward the chest, chin, forehead moving in toward the knee. Let's do that 2 more times, taking it nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, last time. Exhale. Return to center, both knees to the floor. Inhaling, raising the left leg up, reaching back into the toes, and keeping the left hip rolling down and strong through your base. Holding here for a couple more breaths. Now a nice big inhale, and then exhale. Scooping in through your belly, drawing the knee in, press the floor away, round through the chest. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And lower the knee to the floor. Inhaling, raise the right arm up. Exhaling, taking your arm down and through, bringing the right shoulder to rest on the floor, and then floating the left arm up. Lower your palm to your sacrum, or wrapping it around, tucking your hand into the front of your right thigh. And then start to draw the top shoulder back, softening into your face as you reach up into your hips. Settling into a nice relaxed breathing pattern. And release. Right hand comes to the floor, pressing yourself back onto all fours. On your next inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale, taking your arm down and through. Shoulder to the floor, floating the right arm up and placing your hand on your sacrum, or hand tucks in front of the left thigh. And begin to draw the top shoulder back until you feel a comfortable, pleasant amount of twist and stretch in between the shoulder blades, the upper back, the shoulder. And then settling into your breath. And release. Hand to the floor. Unravel. Coming back into a four-legged position. And then walking your hands forward slightly, tucking your toes under, and guiding yourself into downward dog. So taking a bit of time to feel your way into the pose, starting with your foundation of your hands, checking your fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. Pressing into your palms, lifting into your hips to lengthen your spine, and then maybe warming up through the backs of the legs by lifting and lowering your heels. There's another little variation I like to do, which is zipping my feet together and then carefully rolling to the outer edge of one foot and then the other. And then you might like to step out as wide as your mat, pressing into downward dog, heels toward the floor. And then coming back to a neutral foot position with both feet aligned with your hips. And now holding in downward dog. Bending through the knees if needed, prioritizing lengthening through your spine. Holding here for another 4 breaths. Taking your time with each breath, there's no rush. And from here, lowering your knees to the floor. Come back and sit on your heels, resting your palms in your lap. Take a couple of breaths, resting after downward dog. It's such a wonderfully strengthening and invigorating pose. And now moving into a lunge sequence, taking your hands forward and stepping your right foot forward. Placing your hands on your front knee and lowering down into your hips. And keeping your hands here resting on your knee if that feels far enough, or further still, raising your arms up. Reaching up into your fingertips, lifting your ribs out of your waistline as you allow your hips to sink down. And exhale. Lower your hands to the floor, sending your hips back, flexing your front foot, straightening out through that front leg and folding forward over the front leg. And shifting your hips forward again, moving your right foot out to the outer edge of your mat and placing your hands to the floor. And dropping down again into a lunge position, this time feeling a bit of a diagonal stretch through your hips. And if you're familiar with this posture, you might like to explore dropping your forearm down to the floor, or both forearms down to the floor to go a little deeper into the stretch. But if that feels too strong, just staying up on both hands, softening down into your hips. One more breath here. And now taking the right foot back, right knee back. Take a little extended child's pose. Then step the left foot forward. And we'll repeat the same on the other side. Taking your hands to your front knee and dropping down into your hips. Taking your time to move carefully into the stretch. And if you feel able to, you can raise your arms up. Holding here for another 3 breaths. Exhale completely, lower your hands to the floor, taking your hips back and flexing through the front foot, folding forward over your front leg. Shifting your weight forward, walking your left foot out to the edge of your mat and both hands come to the floor. Allowing your hips to drop down again, finding yourself in a diagonal lunge, or lizard lunge. option to drop down onto one forearm or both forearms. One more breath here. And pressing yourself back, taking that leg back, and we'll rest in child's pose for just a couple of breaths. Forehead to the floor, arms alongside your body. And relax your entire upper body, your hips and legs, letting go into your breath. And slowly rise up. Okay. Coming to the top of our mat for 3 rounds of sun salutations. And a reminder, as always, to please flow in your own pace. Let it be your practice, your body, your breath. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhaling, raising your arms up, bringing your palms together, looking to your thumbs. As you exhale, fold forward, hands come to the floor, maybe bending through the knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump or step back into plank and lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, lifting back into downward dog, holding here for 3 breaths. Exhale completely. Look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms come together. Look up. And exhaling, arms by your sides in mountain. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Holding for 3 breaths. Looking between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, come all the way up, looking up. Exhaling, arms down by your sides. One final round, inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling as you fold forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale to fold, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Holding for 3 breaths. Exhale completely. Look to your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Take a breath, standing in mountain pose. Now bending through the knees, sweeping the arms up, arms coming to shoulder height or in prayer in front of your chest. Bending through the knees, scooping in through your belly to support your lower back. Holding here for a couple more breaths, reaching into your fingertips, grounding down into your feet. Seeing if you can challenge yourself to drop just a little deeper into your hips. And we're going to go straight from here into a forward fold. So folding forward, releasing your hands to the floor. Utilizing any props that you would like to use here. So maybe hands resting on top of blocks or a belt underneath the feet. Option to wrap your first two fingers around your big toes and then drawing against your toes to help you fold forward. And bringing a little bit of movement into the pose by inhaling to look forward and lengthen. And exhaling, drawing in. Inhale to lengthen. Maybe hands slide up the shins. Exhale, drawing in. We'll do 2 more of those. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Now continue to hold forward fold. Option to go into a gripped deep fold or in a more relaxed position, cradling your elbows and allowing yourself to just passively hang forward. And even in this position you can play with adding a little bit of effort, lengthening through the backs of the legs, lifting into the sitting bones. Settling in for just a few more breaths. I do love a good forward fold, and the whole external world feels like it fades away for a moment. And slowly release, allowing yourself to gently rise up. Giving yourself a moment to just allow everything to balance out. Good. We're going to go through a strengthening flow now. So I'm going to be using blocks for this, just for a little more steadiness and ease. Popping them at the front here, within reach. So start at the top of your mat, have your blocks handy if you like. Taking the right foot back, planting the back foot down at about 45 degrees, and bending the front knee for warrior 1. Grounding down through your feet and lifting through your inner arches. Gently engaging through the glutes so that your hips are nice and stable. And then inhale, raise the arms up, lengthening through your spine. And maintaining that lift and lengthen through the upper body as you drop down into that front thigh. Keep actively pressing into your back foot so that back leg is nice and strong. Good. And opening out into warrior 2. Heel toe the front foot across slightly, opening up the back foot so it's running parallel to the end of the mat. Stacking your shoulders above your hips, and again, just dropping down into that front thigh and extending your arms out, looking just beyond your left fingertips. Coming back to our theme of cultivating strength, or bala. Building that nice integrity from the inside. Sliding the back hand down and taking it back into reverse warrior. And then exhale, dropping the left hand to the floor or to a block alongside your front foot. And we'll sweep the right arm down and taking it up, nesting it just alongside our ear. So keep pressing down into the back foot, stacking that front knee above your ankle. And find a sense of buoyancy in your hips where you're not completely relaxed down into a nice long, low angle. Keep a nice, strong, firm foundation through your feet that helps to activate through the legs, keeping your glutes gently switched on, your pelvis strong, and it gives you a kind of lift through your upper body. All right, transitioning here. So let's take it nice and slow. We're going to go up into half moon. I'm going to take my block with me, so block to the left hand, dragging your back toe to the floor. Position yourself ready for half moon first with your hand to the floor, foot to the floor, big toe glued to the floor, navel drawing in as you start to float the back leg up. Keeping the right hip slightly rolling down and the right foot is flexed. And taking the right arm up. And see if you can gently lift out of that left lower hand as you hold the position. So we're not collapsing down into that lower hand. And getting ready to release, soft bend through the left leg. And release, bringing both feet together. Coming back to standing at the top of your mat. Take a breath. All right, let's move on to the other side, stepping the left leg back, planting the back foot down at a 45-degree angle, and dropping down into the front knee. Right knee stacked above your right ankle. I'm going open foot if it looks a bit funky, just because my ankle is still healing. Inhale, reaching the arms up, and lifting through your inner arches. Upper body is lifted and lengthening. Lower body is strong. Nice sturdy foundation and lightness cultivated through the upper body. Inhale, lift. And exhale, opening out to warrior two. Adjusting your front foot, opening up through the back foot. Arms out at shoulder height. Exhale. Taking it back through reverse warrior. And come forward into side angle. Taking a block underneath your hand or just hand to the floor, the outside of your foot. And then sweeping the left arm down and up, bringing your upper arm to rest just above your ear, turning to look up toward the sky. Keep pressing down into your feet, engage through the hips. All right, ready to transition to our half moon. So, setting yourself up first with your foundation, dragging that back foot in slightly, planting your block to the floor or hand to the floor, and pressing down into your big toe, your standing foot, and hand is planted firmly. Now we're going to start lifting up out of the lower hand, lifting the energy through the leg, squeezing on strong through the hips as you float the back leg up. Slightly turn the toes down to really lock the hip and engage the hips and pelvis. Floating the left arm up. Navel drawing in, nice and strong. And getting ready to release. Lower the arm and leg. Finding your way back to mountain. Take a breath, relax. Feeling that beautiful rush of circulation. Your brain feeling so invigorated. And step the left foot back. Turning your big toes in slightly so that the outer edges of your feet are running parallel with the ends of your mat. Hands to your hips, lift and lengthen, and fold forward. Bringing your hands to the floor. And maybe the crown of your head to the floor, walking your hands all the way underneath your body, stretching back behind you. Feel free to explore placing your hands in different positions, either holding your big toes, holding your ankles. Two more breaths here. And slowly walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, coming into a half lift. Place your hands on your hips, softly bend through your knees, and press yourself up to standing. And heel toe your feet together. Now finding our way down to the floor. Extending your right leg out, bring your left foot in, placing it to your right inner thigh. Inhale, lift and lengthen through your spine and fold forward over your right leg, placing your hand wherever you can reach and using that as a leverage point to help you draw a little closer toward your right leg. Maybe you've got your hands around your foot, or first two fingers around the big toe. Otherwise, a belt is a really nice experience looped around the sole of your foot. Slowly lift halfway up. Place your forearm to the floor along the inside of your lower leg. And then take that left arm, sweep it down along the floor. So you're going fingertips to the floor just to help this joint articulate nicely. And then open up to a nice arc through your side body. And you can just be floating in space or fold deep enough to be able to reach for your toes. And then just keep trying to bring the lower ribs through. Release. Press yourself all the way up and change sides. Extending the left leg, bring the right foot in. Lift and lengthen, and either a belt around the foot, hands to the shin, or holding your foot, folding forward over your left leg. Lifting halfway up, lower your forearm to the floor, and then dragging the right fingertips along your mat, and then opening up, making an arc of your upper body and your arm, maybe holding the toes, drawing the lower ribs through. And release. Extending both legs forward this time. And up to you if you want to use a belt or a bolster over your thighs. I'm going to use a block tonight on my legs. So if you're going no props, just taking your hands forward, just like we were doing with the single leg variation, but both legs forward. Both hands taking hold of belt, ankles, feet, toes, and folding forward. I'm just going to place the block there for myself as a bit of a grounding reference point. to rest my head on. You might like to do the same with a bolster or pillow or a couple of blocks stacked. And settling in for about 10 breaths total. We'll stay here for about another 7 or so. Gently engaging through your thighs. Softly scooping in through your belly to create a little more space for the fold through your hips. And personally, I can feel my body yielding, like I could remove the block and move deeper. But how I'm feeling today, I just want to rest here, not push it too much. Just a couple more nice, relaxed cycles of your breath. And slowly release. Removing any props that you are using. Giving your legs a little shake. Bring the soles of your feet together in a butterfly position. Sitting up nice and tall and folding forward. Dropping your elbows to the insides of your legs, pressing your knees down toward the floor. Another option is to slide your feet further away from your hips and fold forward. And I'm going to use the block again here, resting my head on the block as I fold over. So gentle stretch through the hips, a nice lengthening experience through your spine. Inhale and exhale. Release out of the pose. Slowly come up. Cross your legs for a moment and take a breath. All right, coming down onto our front now. So we're going to do a cobra, but I'm going to utilize my bolster for the next 2 postures. So we're going to move through cobra and then into locust. And having a bolster underneath your hips is a really nice support and can just feel like a different experience, kind of like a lighter, lengthening experience. So up to you if you want to explore that. A folded blanket and cushion would also work. So placing the bolster under your hips or just going straight to your mat, no props required. Pressing down into your palms and lifting up. Lengthening back into your feet, slight engagement through your hips. And really focus on lifting out of your lower back. So we try not to hinge through that lower back area that tends to be quite mobile. And active through your spine, visualizing each vertebra lengthening upwards from the lower back, through the middle back, upper back and neck. I find with the bolster, it's a little easier to breathe in the pose as well. Your lungs and ribs have a little bit more space. And exhale, release. Taking your arms forward, rest for a moment. So with locust pose, we're going to do alternating arms and legs. So taking your arms forward and legs out straight. Raise the left leg and the right arm. And use this supporting left hand and pressing down into the front of the right foot to help you lift a little higher. Holding, reaching in 2 different directions, reaching forward into your fingertips and back into your toes. And lower the arm and leg, lower your head. And change sides, raise the right leg, raise the left arm, pressing down into the supporting hand and foot. Feeling your back working strongly. Good. Lower both arms and legs. Then inhale, raising just your legs this time. Forehead resting on the floor. Lower down. And now I have to move back a little bit, otherwise I'll tip forward. Now, raising the arms and chest. Your head is lifted, reaching forward, and legs, hips, everything, lower back, all nice and active. Exhale, release. Relax completely. Okay. Now moving your bolster out of the way and flipping over onto your back. Placing both feet to the floor. Getting ready for bridge pose. We're going to do a dynamic bridge today. So as you raise your hips up, we're going to take our arms up and over to inhale. And as we exhale, lower the arms back to the floor as you lower your hips down. So taking your time, moving with your breath. We'll do 5 rounds. Inhale, lifting up, pressing into your feet, lift your hips high. Exhaling, coordinating the breath with your movement. Inhale. Exhale. Going in your own rhythm. Let's do one last round. Inhale. Exhale. Relax, allowing your knees to fall in toward each other. Now straightening out your legs for supine spinal twist. Our last technique before we go into Shavasana. So taking your right knee bent across your body and extending your right arm out at shoulder height and turning to look toward your right fingertips. And then gently encouraging your knee and your shoulder down toward the floor in opposite directions. Getting a nice deep stretch without straining. And return to center. Change to the other side. Straighten out through the right leg, bending through your left knee. Taking your knee across your body and your left arm out at shoulder height. Soften through your belly, turning to look to the left as you work your shoulder and knee down toward the floor. Release. Come back to center and hug your knees into your chest. And finding your way down into Shavasana. Maybe using the bolster underneath your knees or a blanket under your knees, cushion under your head, covering your eyes, making yourself comfortable. Giving yourself this time at the end of your practice to completely let go and rest allowing all the wonderful benefits of the poses and techniques we've just practiced to assimilate in your mind and body. And just noticing how your mind and body feel at the end of your practice. Observing if your breath feels a little more relaxed and steady. And perhaps your thoughts mirror the rhythm of your breath. Your mental landscape might be a little more relaxed and spacious. Noticing that beautiful feeling of the free flow of prana circulating your body. Feeling simultaneously energized and light, while also grounded. And continuing to lay where you are as I guide you through relaxation. All you need to do is relax each body part as I mention it. Taking your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relax from your big toes to your little toes. And feel the soles of your feet softening and relaxing. Your heels are getting heavier and heavier. Soften into your ankles. And soften into your calf muscles. Feeling your shin bones to be heavy. Relax your knees. And relax your thighs. Softening into your left hip and your right hip. Feeling both of your legs to be heavy and relaxed. Relaxing into your pelvis and your abdomen. Softening into your belly and softening up into your diaphragm. Feeling your whole abdominal region to be relaxing, letting go of any tension that might be stored in this area. Feeling the sides of your torso as if they're melting down toward the floor. Relaxing into your chest, your ribs, and all the muscles in between each rib. Softening into your lungs. And relaxing into your heart center. Moving upwards to your shoulders. Feeling your collarbones broadening and relaxing. Relax from the tops of your shoulders down and around your shoulder blades. And seeing if you can just let go of anything that you might be carrying on your shoulders, even if you just let go a little. Relax your upper arms, elbows, and forearms, softening into your wrists and hands. Feeling both of your arms to be heavy and relaxed. Now guiding your awareness to your lower back, feeling your sacrum broadening and releasing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Your head is heavy, and your face is soft. Relax into your jaw. Relax into your mouth. Your entire body is heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be. Just rest. Slowly starting to wake up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes. Gently rocking your head from side to side. And pressing yourself up to sit. And we'll finish by chanting Gauranga for just a couple of minutes. Just singing from our hearts and drawing this beautiful sacred sound in through our ears, into our mind, and down into our heart. Gauranga, 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 Now bring our hands together in prayer position to close off our practice. Bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing our heads once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste.